Hi, this is Tony Wu, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to scale while working 80% less without sacrificing your results. We only have a limited amount of time and energy in this life, and you don't want to spend that time and energy on things that don't matter or don't make a difference. You could be spending that time and energy with family, working on your health, or doing things in your business that actually make a difference. That's why it's so important to learn how to do things efficiently, because that way you can actually spend your limited time and energy on things that actually matter to you. And I really had to learn how to invest my time, how to use my limited time and energy efficiently, especially because I'm balancing school and running my agency. So I had to do that while also maintaining a 4.0 GPA to keep my parents happy. We all have the same limited amount of time and energy on this earth. So the only thing that separates successful people from people who are not successful is how they invest their time, what they spend their time on. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. I'll show you how to simplify your business, how to automate and delegate efficiently, how to identify the high leverage tasks, and how to do it well. I'll also show you how to make consistent progress in your business instead of going through cycles of productivity and procrastination. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is how to simplify, automate, and delegate. And this is the exact order you have to do it in. You have to simplify first, then automate, then delegate. And most people miss this simplifying step. Maybe they're an AI automation agency and they're pitching businesses, I'm going to automate all your things, when half of the things, more than half of the things that they automate, should have been cut out entirely. And a lot of other businesses, they just go straight to delegation. They don't simplify, they don't try to automate, they just try to hire a bunch of people and then delegate. And that just creates a lot of unnecessary work, a lot of unnecessary headache for you, and a lot of other work that you have to pay for with your time or with money, right? And so what you need to do is first you need to identify the things that you have to cut out. And to identify the things that you have to cut out, first you need to know the goal of your business. So again, we have to break things down into first principles again. What is a business? A business is an entity that provides value. That's all it does. So the core functions of a business should be planning and creating value. That's one of them. The second one is telling people about the value that you can provide them. And the third is actually delivering on the value. And if there's anything that you do that doesn't fall into those three categories, 9 times out of 10, it's a waste of your time and energy. Everything you do in your business should only do these three things: create value, tell people about your value, and deliver the value. Cut out everything that doesn't fit within that. It's the Pareto principle that states that 80% of your results come from 20% of your work. And maybe you're thinking, I don't want only 80% of the results. I want 100% of the results. Well, if you think about it, you're actually making more money when you're spending 20% to make 80% instead of spending 100% of your time and energy to make 100% of your profits. You're actually making 4 times more. And that's why you always have to measure your output not by how much money you make, but how much money you make divided by the amount of time that you spend on making that money. 80% of your business probably doesn't focus on those three things. Maybe it doesn't create value, it doesn't tell people about your value, and it doesn't deliver value. And I want you to cut out all of that. Cut out everything that doesn't do those three things. So now you're only left with 20% that directly does those three things. And now I want you to cut out 80% again. Cut out 80% of the 20% that doesn't do those things effectively. That doesn't do those things effectively. And now 20% of 20%, that's 4%. You're left with 4% of the task that you normally do. And now you can spend the rest of your time and energy, instead of focusing on the things that don't create a direct contribution to your business, focus that time and energy on making the things that do work more effective. You can focus that time and energy on automating, on delegating, focus that time and energy on doing the tasks that actually matter, learning, spending that time with family, developing healthy habits. There's so much better things that you could do instead of working 14-hour days and thinking that you're being productive when in reality you are actually being lazy because you don't spend the time enough to think about what you actually should be doing. Nowadays, you hear a lot about AI, and AI is really effective for automating a lot of the repetitive tasks that you do. So if you sit around prospecting leads or outreaching, you could be automating 90% of that with AI and maybe adding a little bit of your own personal touch. Or maybe you walk all of your clients through a really long onboarding process and it's the same thing every time, and you can also automate that with AI. Automation workflows like Zapier or Make can really help with that. But a really big problem that I see with AI automation is that, especially with these AI automation agencies, they're trying to use AI for everything because it's a buzzword, because it's hot right now, right? But AI is not good for everything. You have to look at AI's strengths and weaknesses, and you have to look at the skills required to do this task, and you have to see, is this actually okay to be automated by AI? Because if it's something really repetitive, like maybe data analyzation, and AI is really good at recognizing patterns, so AI would be a good fit for doing data analyzation. But if you take something more creative, like making ads or writing copy, then you'll realize that AI is really not good at that. They won't get results because humans are a lot better at that because they're creative, and AI is not creative. They don't recognize the human emotions and they don't know anything about buyer psychology. Some things also you will need AI and humans working together. AI to help speed humans up. And for example, we can take cold outreach. And in cold outreach, it's better to personalize your outreach messages so that the other person actually knows that they're talking to a real human being. And AI is not really good at that. So that's where the human comes in. But what I find is that 80% of outreach is just copy and pasting the same message, and only 20% is doing the personalization. So you take AI, do the copy and pasting, do the sending, and then you just do the personalization. Focus 100% of your efforts, your time and energy on the things that actually make a difference. And lastly, once you've done all of that, you can delegate. Don't jump to delegation. Once you've simplified, once you automated, now you can jump to delegation. And I'm not at the stage in my business where I've started to delegate yet, but the one thing I've heard from everybody, the one common piece of advice I've heard from everybody is that you need to invest in the absolute top tier talent. Because when you invest in mediocre talent, it actually creates more work for you because it's a hassle to manage them and they don't get great results, and if you have to go back in there and edit them and then supervise them, and then it just puts a lot more work back on your plate. And that's why you need to invest in the best talent that will get the best results. The extra premium you pay will be well worth it. And hiring the best talent especially is what can separate you from the competitors, because when you hire great talent, talent will make your service more valuable. They can deliver better results, make your thing more valuable. Then that increases your profit margins because you can charge more because it's more valuable. And now you can reinvest into getting better talent, and then your talent can make your thing more valuable, and then that's usually you just grow, and then you widen the gap between you and your competitors so that they can never catch up. Okay, now you've simplified, now you've automated, now you've delegated, and now you have to decide what to do with your remaining time and energy, what to spend it on, and how to actually do it the best, how to do it most efficiently. In my opinion, the highest leverage tasks that a business owner can do are the following three. LBS. L stands for learning. You need to constantly learn. You need to look at the data from your business and gain insights out of it. Look at what you can actually improve on. Learn from other businesses, learn from your competitors, learn from your customers. See what they're doing, look at their feedback, and then constantly look to improve your business, improve your services, your products, your offerings. B. B stands for branding. You, as the business owner, are the face of your business. That's why you need to do branding. You need to curate your reputation. You need to make content because people are drawn to you, even if you think that you're not very attractive. And then lastly, you need to strategize. Maybe you're changing your offer. Maybe you're pivoting to a different market. And more, maybe you are setting a vision for where you want your business to go in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. So learning, branding, and strategizing, those are the three tasks that you should focus most of your time and energy on. And you'll often have a lot of tasks, a lot of things that you need to do on your plate because you're a business owner. You're incredibly busy. But you don't want to do the things that don't make an impact on your business. You don't want to do things just to check it off your to-do list and just to make you feel productive. Every task on your to-do list, you have to constantly look at it, constantly think, is this getting me closer to my goals? And yes, you need a very, very clear goal so you can compare these tasks to. It is absolutely crucial that you know exactly where you want to go, or else you will not be able to get there. Instead of doing the little tasks that make you feel productive, try to do the big, the scary, the hairy task that will actually make a difference in your business. Identify the one task that if you completed that one task, you would be happy that you were productive today. Identify that one task, break it down into smaller tasks, and start executing. Now you've identified the big thing, the important task that you want to do, and now you need to do it quickly. You need to do it efficiently without compromising quality. And this is where focus comes in. And I've heard this a lot over the internet. I think it's the Pomodoro technique that says you can only focus for 25 minutes. And I find that absolutely idiotic because your ancestors, when we were cavemen, we had to hunt the whole day and focus for 12 hours on end on not getting eaten. And we also had to focus on hunting our prey. We need to focus on the deer that we're hunting. And if we stop focusing for 1 second, the deer would run away and then we wouldn't eat dinner. If you want to do things efficiently without compromising quality, you need to put a little bit of pressure on yourself. You need a reason why you're doing this, why you're spending so much brain power on this, because your brain likes to conserve energy, right? Your body wants to take the path of least resistance. But if you have a good reason, if you need to put food on the table, then of course you're going to be able to focus. Like if it's midterms and you didn't study, you'll have a sudden huge boost of motivation the night before to get things done. And the same thing is with business. Maybe you tell your clients that you're going to fulfill for them, finish this ad campaign or make this website by this date. And this date is a little bit too early for you. Maybe you need to work some extra hours to get there, or maybe you need to find a way to do it faster. This is exactly what Elon Musk does and the most successful people that you can think of. They set crazy deadlines, crazy goals that nobody else would even dare set. And then Elon tells the whole press about it. He tells the whole world about it. So he has his publicity. He needs to perform. And this is what happened when he was building SpaceX. He was building the Falcon 1 rocket. Most aerospace companies would take 10 years and billions of dollars of funding to build a rocket. But Elon, he built a working rocket in 6 years with only $100 million, less than $100 million. And this was completely unheard of at the time. It took them 4 attempts, but they did it. That's why you need to put a little bit of pressure on yourself. But that doesn't mean you should try and work yourself to death. When you're working, you should put some pressure on yourself so you can work 100%. And when you're resting, you should rest 100% and don't think about anything work related, right? You need to enjoy your life, enjoy this beautiful existence that we have been given, that we have been gifted. And so you don't want to be a dim light. When you're working, work 100%, and when you're resting, rest 100% and enjoy this beautiful existence. Now you know the hard things, the tasks that you have to do, and you know how to do it fast without compromising quality. But you also need consistency. You need to do this on a long period of time, a long enough time frame for you to actually see progress. And this is where most people fail. This is what I see and what I've experienced a lot. You go through periods of highs and lows, constantly going through periods of procrastination and productivity. Let me redraw this line for you. It looks something more like this. You have a high, you have a low, you have a high, you have a low. For maybe a week, you're doing really good, you feel motivated, you're on your game, you're working hard, doing the things that but then maybe you slip up once, and then you fall back down this hill. You fall back down this hill, and then you start being lazy, and you start maybe doing the things that you know that you shouldn't be doing. But then you get a spark of motivation. You see the rut that you're in, and then you start getting angry. You're like, how am I in this situation? I'm so much better than this. I deserve so much more. And you start to lock in, and then you going back up this ramp, and then you start getting more motivated, doing the things that you know you're supposed to do, and then getting back up this ramp. And then maybe you stay here for a week, maybe you stay here for a couple days, maybe you stay here for a month, and then you fall back down, and then you stay in this rut for a week, a month, a day, I don't know how long, and then you go back up, you go back down, and this process repeats itself. Up and down, up and down, up and down. But if you really want to make progress, you need consistency. Because if you're going up and down, up and down, up and down, this is really where your baseline is at. It's not really improving that much. And you have probably also experienced something like this in the past. And maybe you start trying to police yourself, trying to change your habits. And it's good that you have recognized this pattern and that you want to change. But you can't just try to police yourself, change these habits, maybe throw out your TV, block all your apps. That still won't work because these are symptoms. You're trying to treat the symptoms, but you have to find the root cause and actually fix that. And the root cause here are the emotions that you have, your emotions and your mental state that is driving this swinging pendulum going from productivity to procrastination, from confidence to doubt. These are really the core emotions that drive this cycle. First, you have anger, and then that goes to drive. And then drive goes to pride. And pride goes to comfort. And comfort goes back to anger. Right here. Because you start with anger. You're down here. You're angry at yourself. You feel all this pain. You know that you should be doing so much better. You know that you have the potential and you're angry at yourself. And this creates drive. And drive is this upward slope. You start being motivated because you know that you could be so much better. You know that you deserve so much more, that you have the potential in you. And then once you reach this top, you start feeling proud. You start feeling proud at what you've achieved, and then you stay here for a while, and then now you're comfortable. You start getting comfortable, and this is where you start falling because you think I've already achieved this so much, I don't need to work anymore, and you just start slowly falling back down. You're like, one time won't hurt. Maybe I'll play video games one time, or I'll watch the TV, or I'll set this thing off until tomorrow. And then you fall back down here, and then you start getting angry at yourself again, and then you get drive, and then you get pride, and then you get comfort. And this cycle just repeats itself. And this cycle isn't here for no reason. It serves a biological purpose, just like everything else. You have a ceiling of pain and a floor of pain. Everything in life is pain and suffering, but you can decide which type of pain and suffering you want. You can either have the pain of working hard and of using this pain to actually achieve something and be somebody, or you can suffer the pain of being a nobody and know that you could have achieved so much more. And these are what the floor and the ceiling are. The floor and the ceiling are. The floor is the pain that you know you could be more. So because of this pain, you're driven to be better. And then you have the ceiling. And the ceiling is the pain of working hard to achieve actually meaningful things, because it will always be painful to achieve anything worthwhile. So if you actually want to achieve anything worthwhile, you will have to raise your ceiling for pain, and you will have to raise your floor for pain as well. And this is what you want to end up like. This is your current floor, this is your current ceiling, and you're staying around the same. But what you want to do, you want your floor and your ceiling to constantly be rising. So you set higher expectations for yourself, and you set higher goals for yourself. And what you see is that over time, your old ceiling will become your old floor. And that's just how the world works. You will be normalized to your new level of success. Every time you achieve a financial milestone, maybe you hit $100,000 a month, and then you feel really happy for a short amount of time. But then that becomes your new normal, and you have to chase another high. And this is actually not a bad thing, because it pushes you to achieve more and more and more. You can never always be happy with what you have achieved, but you can always keep on improving, keep on trying to improve yourself, better your best. This sounds a bit paradoxical, and it's not really related to the video topic, but you'll never truly be happy with where you are. You may be happy for a short amount of time, but that is a fleeting emotion. But you should always try to be grateful for this gift of existence. You should always try to enjoy existence. So to summarize, if you want to make consistent progress, you need to always set higher goals and set higher expectations for yourself. And you can't only set a higher goal, because if you get higher but you also crash the same, then your crash will just be harder. It won't work. You need to set higher goals as well as higher expectations for yourself, and that is how you grow. But going back to business related things, I do plan on making an efficiency scaling framework that'll be in the description below. But for now, if you simplify, if you automate, and if you delegate efficiently, if you work on the hard tasks, and if you always set higher goals and higher standards for yourself, I promise you, you'll be able to scale consistently while working 80% less without sacrificing your results.